Wish we had more time to spare. Want you around me like air. Can get my feelings involved.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? What's Sam YouTube? It's your girl, the goddess, and I'm back. Ooh, with another one.
Go,
yeah.
girl.
Alright, y'all. So, today's video is going to be about how these very despicable, disgusting, trifling, nasty women use manifestation to trap men, with love spells and all kind of stuff. Just all kind of stuff. Just disgusting. Alright? Because they can't keep a man naturally with their natural energy because they are despicable people, and they don't realize that the reason why they don't keep the types of men that they want is because they are not a magnetic match to these men. This is why these men do not stay, and they have to use all this other stuff to make them stay. But before we get into the video though, I'm gonna need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. You hear me? Alright, so guys, you are more than welcome to think that anything I say on this channel is a bunch of tomfoolery. You are more than welcome to think that I need psychiatric help and I'm a lunatic and I'm crazy. You are more than welcome to think and believe whatever you want to believe. I make these videos for people who may be dealing with the same exact thing as I'm talking about, the same exact things that I've experienced, and with hopes that it might help one of y'all one day. Okay? Alright, so let's get into the video. Alright, so before I get into actually what these hoes be doing, let me start off by saying that women who actually do this and do things, not even just like to trap men and to, keep men, but women who just do negative things with manifestation in general will never ever speak on this. Why? Because they are sneaky. They are very conniving, very sneaky, and very underhanded when it comes to these things, because they do not ever want you to suspect that they are doing this. See, a lot of stupid people, a lot of dumb, stupid people will look at these videos of me making these videos. I got a stupid ass cousin that do this. Look at me making these videos about spirituality and talking about how I went through this type of shit, which is the reason why I get on here to help other people, right? It's very clear. It's very clear and evident that that's what I'm doing. But a stupid bitch, but a stupid hoe will automatically be like, oh, she into that spiritual stuff, so it's probably her. She probably doing that shit on me. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to start this video off by saying these hoes will never ever give themselves away. They will never ever give themselves away, ever. They want you to think these people that do this kind of shit are narcissists. The doctors and psychologists are calling them narcissists, but these are women and people with entity attachments, okay? These are spirit attachments. These are people with dark spirit, negative, well, I ain't gonna say dark, but negative, low vibrational energy or entities attached to them, okay? So they will never ever show their hand. They will never ever even make you suspect or lead you to suspect that they do this kind of shit, because the point is to control you. The point is to to control your life, because they can't do shit with their own. So they want to try to stop you from doing you, okay? They want to try to stop you from doing you. They want to try to control you. All right. So that is what I wanted to say. And then people who do, priestesses that do have, like, there are priestesses with businesses, actual businesses. I'm talking about registered small businesses, work permit.
I meant seller's permit and LLCs.
It's the whole nine. That because it's not a scam. Because if it were a scam, they would not be able to even obtain a business, and people would have turned them in and exposed them by now. But there are businesses all over. There are online businesses, people doing it over YouTube, people doing it over Instagram. And if you ever, like, look hard enough and walk around and drive around, you'll see that there are actual people with actual buildings, actual spaces that they do this kind of work in. They have I guess you could call it their office or their store or whatever it is, storefront or whatever. And they will say in their services that they offer these kind of services. Okay, so they know people. They're not trying to hide their hands. They'll say, I do all types of magic. I do all types of manifestation. Okay, so the bitches that's doing this shit in real life, though, like, not doing it for money but doing it just to control people, they'll never ever make you think that they know anything about this shit, because they want you to think that they are the most nicest, most innocent, most caring people, so that you will never suspect that they are the ones that's doing that shit to you. All right?
These types of females will be the one to go purchase and pay for those types of services.
These are sneaky people. These are conniving, underhanded, disgusting, despicable, just nasty people, okay? Nasty people. Now, today we are talking about specifically women who try to keep men, okay? Now, how do I know all of this is real? I went through experience, because a man tried to do it to me. Yes, a man tried to do it to me. Actually, two men have tried. Two men have tried to do it. One tried to bind me to him, okay? And then the other tried to stop other people from coming towards me, or tried to actually literally stop my love life so that I would choose him, okay? So now let's get into it. All right, so what I told y'all was, in the previous video I just made about energy manipulation, where you could send energy to people, your thoughts, you know what I'm saying, your intentions could send that energy to somebody and could really, like, affect their minds and manipulate their minds and their energy into doing what you want them to do. So that's one way. All right?
Every time we think, every thought that we create in our head actually leaves our head as a wave of light. We know this because we can put a cap on someone's head with electrodes on it to pick up those waves of light and send them to a computer so we can analyze the brain. When you think about something, that information goes out eternally into space-time as a wave. If you're a distant civilization, you could pick up that radio frequency and you could actually decode it. So we know that thinking is important because it directly affects everything around us. Other people, other things, believe it or not, can quantum entangle with those waves of light and download the information that you were thinking.
This is the other way that I spoke to y'all about. So the soul does not die. The human soul, the human spirit, the human aura does not die. The body does, but the soul doesn't. So the soul is still alive. because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed. Okay, so there are still these entities and deities that these people call on, that these people try to conjure and contact to fulfill whatever mission, whatever manifestation that they're trying to manifest, whatever they're trying to manifest. They'll use these deities. Okay, so they'll call on these, they'll do, you know, rituals to call on these deities to help them with that. And what these deities do is, which is the same thing that I said at the beginning, where or before, where you can literally think thoughts and send thoughts to somebody, and those people can get could feel that and get those thoughts, thinking that it's their own thoughts, thinking that it's their own energy, thinking that it's their own intuition, when it's really coming from somewhere else, an outside source. So I explained all of this in the Do You Believe in Magic video part 1. So go ahead and watch that. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. You heard me. So you can get a better understanding, because I explained all of that. I explained 2-dimensional beings and all of that. I explained all of that. Alright, so boom. So the deities work the same way, except the deities work the same way, except these are actual entities. Alright, these are actual entities trying to bombarding your brain, making you think, forcing thoughts into your mind, into your head, to believe whatever it is, that whatever intentions that was put into that ritual, to whatever that deity was sent to do. Okay, whatever that entity was sent to do. Okay, so this practice is common in like cultures like Haiti and Mexico and all these different places. Now, like I said, these practices were never ever meant to be negative. You know, Haitians and all indigenous cultures and ancient cultures, they all worship their ancestors. They all pay homage and gave offerings to their ancestors, to the people that came before them, to the people that are the reason why they are here today. An example of an offering is like when somebody dies and you go to their grave and you put flowers on their grave. That's an offering. You're giving an offering to that ancestor, to that person that died. Okay, so that was Haitian. Haitian voodoo was not meant for negativity. It was meant to worship and give homage and give offering to their ancestors, to the ones that stepped this earth and made it possible for them, and who came before them. It was never meant. Now things transpired in between that time, and it became a negative thing because of ego, greed, pride, and all of those things. So anyways, they do, so these people conjure up things to try to trap you and to manipulate your mind into thinking and into feeling whatever they want you to feel. And then when you have sex with these people, when you have sex with anybody, this can be scientifically proven, it creates an etheric cord. I think you know, a lot of people are calling it soul ties, but it's an actual like cord that binds y'all. So you know how in religion they say, you know, when you have sex with somebody, your souls become one. And people might say, oh, that's not true, I don't get soul ties, whatever, because you're not attached, because you feel like you're not really attached to that person. But that person could be feeding off your energy and vice versa, and you wouldn't even realize it. and it could be affecting your life in ways that you don't even realize, because most people are not conscious enough, are not aware enough of their own energy. Okay, so basically, when you having sex with these women, the intentions, the magic or whatever they are doing becomes stronger. All right. So now here are some ways that are rituals that they do to do these things, to bind men to them, or vice versa, men binding women to them. So remember I told y'all about manifesting with the elements, using candles, the element of fire. So if you go into spiritual stores, like, there are candles shaped like people. So you got candles shaped like a man, candles shaped like a woman, that's supposed to represent a person. So these hoes be going to get one shaped like a man, one candle that looked like a man, one candle that looked like a woman. And what they do is they get a string, and they'll like they'll tie the two candles together, like, and tie a knot, like, we forever be bound to me. He's attached to me. He's binded to me. So remember I told y'all that is when you're working with these elements, this is just the act of training, of putting your intentions out into the universe so that it can give it back to you, because everything is connected. The element, so fire, air, water, earth. Okay, these are the elements. All right. And yeah, they'll do shit like that, or they'll just write it down. They'll write it down and then use a regular candle, a love candle, a pink one, because pink represents love and, relationships and things like that. They'll bind that shit. I mean, they'll write that shit down, carve your names into the candle, and say he will never leave me. We will be together forever. You know what I'm saying? Trying to force a connection with you. You know what I mean? Literally binding somebody to you. Okay? And even with the candles that are shaped like a woman and a man, they'll even carve their name. She'll carve her name into that candle, and she'll carve his name into that candle. Oh yes, indeed, it gets real. These hoes is trifling, okay? What else do they do? Period blood. They'll put their secretions, because period blood and things like that, like your bodily secretions, is like contains like all of your cells and all of your DNA. Yes, so that if they feel like if you are consuming their DNA and their cells and all of that, that you'll always be binded to them. You know what I'm saying? You ate me. And if y'all know that I don't know what the cycle is, like however many times or how often your body does this, but the body takes the cells from the food that you eat and replaces the old dead cells with the cells from the food that you eat. So you literally are becoming that person. Like, that person is literally, you literally are being binded. Okay? And that's an old satanic ritual. I think it originated in like Europe with European women. Look, I'm gonna do the research and I'm gonna put it on this video, y'all. It's wow, it's crazy, okay? And they
Spike. No, I ain't. No, but I really just didn't feel like it. So
yes, that's the type of shit that they doing. You know what I'm saying? So those are certain rituals and things that they do to bind you guys or girls. Okay, now let's get into like how you know what types of like mental things you feel and feelings, energy that you feel, to recognize that somebody is doing this to you. So first things first, now what I experienced was like whispers. Like I would hear whispers of that person's name in my head. And I think I talked about that in Do You Believe in Magic video part 1. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. You heard me? Alright, but anyways, yes, so I would hear whispers like of the dude's name. It would be like Cody. And I'll be wondering why am I hearing that? Like, why am I hearing that? This man has slapped me in the face buku times. Like, so what he wanted to do, like his intentions was, he was insecure about his financial situation. And I believe he had like sexual addictions and other things like that. But he also didn't want me to leave. He wanted me to stay and wait. And I was not doing that. I was not waiting on you. So I was like, he was like still like, but let's just be friends. Let's just continue to be friends. So I'm like, all right. So I go and I tell him about, I went on a date with somebody, or I went out with somebody, and then next thing you know, I start hearing whispers. Like, no, because he was afraid, he was scared that I was gonna leave. Like, he did not want me to leave. He just wanted me to sit and wait on him until he got his stuff together, while he was in a whole nother relationship, because he had to satisfy his addictions, his sexual urges and shit like that. And she took care of him, and didn't, he didn't have to worry about like trying to go work and trying to achieve while he was trying to achieve his, like, chase after his dreams. He didn't want to work. And that was the reason, and that was one of the reasons why he chose the other girl over me, because she was like willing to take care of him, willing to cook for him and all that. I mean, which is not wrong. Like, I don't mind cooking meals for nobody. That's not a thing. But you're not finna sit up in my house and not do nothing. You're not finna sit up in nowhere and do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you gotta at least help. You gotta help out a little bit. You're not about to sit in, like, so I was making him, like, I was, finding applications, giving, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that he could do what he wanted to do. I mean, so that he could have a little money and help me out. And, you know what I'm saying, still do what he wanted to do, but he didn't want to do that. And then on top of that, she was doing magic on him, but that's a whole nother thing. All right. Anyways, so basically, yeah, he tried to bind me. So what I would feel was I would always have this like underlying subconscious thought that it's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen soon. But it never happened. It was like a cycle. It was a cycle. You know what I'm saying? A repeated cycle with this guy. And I'm just like, you know what? This guy. But even after I left, I still had those underlying thoughts. Even though I was still dating, and that's the reason why he kept doing magic, because I was not giving in to those thoughts. So he kept doing it. And I would, it was like, I'll wait for you, like, wait for me, wait on me spells. And I was actually I almost gave into it a few times, because, stuff he was trying to, like, keep niggas away from. Like, he was trying to, like, make me, what he did was try to make people, like, not attracted to me or not want to stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what was happening was the people that I had actual connections with would always, like, ghost me. And I knew we had a connection because, you can feel when you connect with somebody. You can feel that. It's not, you know when it's one-sided or not. So and then the people that I didn't have connection with, people that I just really didn't like at all, was like, you know what I'm saying, like putting in all the effort, like all the effort, like wouldn't even when I ghosted them, wouldn't even stop texting me, wouldn't even stop calling me. I'm like, why is this happening? Then I found out that was what was going on with me, and it made so much sense, because I'm like, yeah, like, why do I keep feeling it's like I was just being pulled along like this string, like I was being just led on, is what I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Even though I was still moving on with my life, it was still mentally thoughts in my head that was making me feel like this, you know, wait on him. So anyways, that was one. And then the other dude tried to make me, the other dude, when he did it to try to like stop things from happening, he would try to like break up connections that I had. So when he seen me having connections with people, he would try to do a spell or do a candle to break it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want, like, they will not work, they will not be together, they will not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stuff he would do. Very jealous, didn't want nothing to work out for me, tried to destroy every single connection so that I would just give in and just be with him. We are not a vibrational match, bro. We do not get along. We are not the same. Like, you trying to keep me trapped in something I'm not happy in, that's wild. Alright, so here's some other feelings, like feelings of guilt. If you feel guilty for leaving the person, like, so for, like, maybe if y'all have a family or kids together, they'll try to make you feel guilty for leaving your family. You are not bound to anybody. You are not binded to nobody. You always have a choice. You always have a choice, and you have to do what's best for you. And then you have to trust the source, God, the universe, whatever you call it, that it will work in your favor. You have to trust that it will work in your favor, and you will see your kids again. They'll try to, you know, instead of using the kids and threatening you with the kids. Well, they'll do that if that's their last resort. If the mental manipulation is not working, they'll try to use the kids. Absolutely, we'll try to use the kids. But before they'll actually threaten you with the kids, the magic will make you feel, the energies or the entities will make you feel guilty. So guilt is a negative. Guilt is a low vibration. Remorse and guilt are two different things. When you know you've done everything you could to make this connection work, and you know that you are still gonna be in your child's life no matter what, because you love your child. When you know you have been a good father and a good spouse, but this shit's still not working, and you feel guilty for that, and you feel bad about it, that's guilt. But if you actually not have been a good father and not have been a good spouse, and you know what I'm saying, and then you try to leave and you feel remorse, that's a different thing. Okay? So guilt is negative. Guilt is a negative a negative feeling, a negative vibration, a low vibration. Okay? If you start to feel like obsessed with a person, like an obsession and a magnetic attraction are two different things. So when you have a magnetic or a vibrational match, when you're vibrating on the same frequency as someone, yes, you're going to think about them a lot. Yes, you're going to try to watch them a lot. You're going to do all of that. But when it's obsession is like, I can't live without this person. I can't be without this person. I have to be around this person all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know the difference. You know the difference between obsession and magnetic attraction. It's two different things. You have to learn the difference, okay? And I think that's all I have for y'all, okay? So y'all, make sure y'all keep that in mind. You are not bound to a person. You are not bound to anybody. Trust the universe, God, or source, or Jah, or Allah, whatever you may call it, will always work in your favor. Never, ever, ever let anything make you feel like you have to be with somebody. And if a person's actions are showing you that they are not willing to commit, if they pushing you away and you still feeling like, nah, I shouldn't, it's gonna happen, that's magic. Okay? All right, and y'all have a good one.